So just picked up the new battery, X Pro, made in South Korea. So 100 amp hour, and the CCA850 crank amp. So a little bit more than the Bosch, and the Bosch is made in South Korea as well, so made the same place. So first thing we'll do is we'll check the voltage. We're nice and green down in the charge area here. So we're nice and green. So let's check the voltage. So I haven't charged it. This is straight off the supplier's shelf. 12.5. So let's check the crank amps. So we've been charging for 30 minutes, 1.5 amp, and the green light's not on the charger yet, so the charger's still saying to charge up. Let's flick it over to voltage. And we're 13.5, so we want to get up to 14.2 before we take it off. So I might plug the other charger in and we'll give it a faster charge. So we've got both chargers hooked, and within a minute or so we're down to 1 amp. Starting to show that it's charged, and the voltage is 14 volts now. Put that in there, put it in there. And 14.6 within a minute or so. So I'll give it another 10-15 minutes. So the green charge light's getting a bit brighter. Give it another 15 minutes. We're at 1.14 amp. And voltage 14.2, which is where we want to be. So that's about 45 minutes of charge time. Okay, so that's been on there for an hour now. Half an hour with 2 charges, half an hour 1 charge. So 1.1 amp. And the voltage 14.07. So I think we'll call that charged up. Let's try it in the car. Well, let's try the crank amp tester. So we've got it set on 850 crank amp. So that's a much better reading than before, 835, so maybe it still needs a bit more of a charge. 13 volts and 3.6 milliohms. So we've got it set on 100 amp hour test. So showing good. 827 crank amp. Getting that bracket back in there is a bit of a pain. That nut there you can get your hand down, but this one down here is going to be a problem. So let's put a bit of tape on the socket so that the nut jams in there, and then it won't fall off when we try to get it down into there. Going to get down into there. Alright, battery's in. Let's see how well it goes. Turn that off. All good. It started at 4 to 5 amps and it's starting to drop less than a minute, so that's good. Okay, so the car's been sitting for a week. Drove it around on the weekend, so I wanted to check what the state of the battery is after it's been sitting for a week. So when we got it off the salespeople, the battery dealer, we were 12.5, 732 crank amp. Internal resistance was 3.6, so we gave it an hour's charge up, and it was 14 volts on the charger, and then let it settle for a bit, and she was 835 on the crank amp, and internal resistance was the same, and the battery voltage basically settled down at about 12.7. So let's see what it's measuring after the car's been sitting for a week with the battery in it. And when you unlock the car, it does spike a bit of energy out of it, so let's go and check that. Okay, so that's the amps, 0.47, and I've clicked the latch down on the bonnet so it thinks that the bonnet is closed. Right, let's check the voltage. So we're 12.25 on the volts. Let's check the crank amps. So we're set on 850. Let's so 665 is what it's dropped down to. Which one is it? Button sticking. Yeah. So voltage is the same as the voltmeter, still saying good. This button keeps sticking. Right, so it's saying it's good. So we're 2.26, I should say. Let's lock the car and see what happens. So that's spiked up to 20 amp. So I've latched the bonnet, so it thinks the bonnet's closed. And there you go, car's going to sleep. All the lights are going off. So let's unlock it. 16 amp. Because the headlights are on. Headlights are still on. Interior lights still on. So it's pulling a lot of amperage while it's just sitting here. So the car just auto-locked because I didn't open the door. Right, let's see what it starts like. Alright, put the key in. So, 630 crank amp I think it was, so still kicks it over nicely. So I've been out and done about a 40k drive, so I just got back, so let's see what the crank amps are. $871, so that's good. It's charging it up. .84, 3.29 milliohm.